Hi, folks. The actions of the American government in Venezuela right now can only be declared as unlawful. They're unlawful, folks. They're unlawful and they need to stop. Not only are they unlawful, they are also the height of hypocrisy. The United States government, the CIA, the military, has been conducting all kinds of unlawful military actions in Venezuela since August of this year. There have been some justifications that have been given for it, most of them which are just simply bullshit. But it doesn't really matter what the reasons are. This is unlawful military action. It's unlawful, it violates international law, it violates the territorial integrity of Venezuela. It is the very same thing that the United States is accusing Russia of doing in Ukraine. And here's the problem that I have with America generally. There's only a few things, there are only few things that I have against the United States. It's often the foreign policy. All these unlawful actions conducted by American governments in the past 30 years, they are problematic and they need to stop. The United States government under President Trump has used justifications for this, that they are fighting drug cartels and drug smugglers and narco terrorists, which is why they are busy attacking Venezuela. But actually what is happening is that they are engaged in a regime change effort. That is what is happening. And don't you find it also quite convenient that the guy that you have opposed for the past 20 or 25 years, the guy that you've tried to remove from power for the past 25 years, all of a sudden now you're accusing him of running drug cartels? But let's take that argument. Who are the largest drug and narco peddlers in the world? It's not Nicolás Maduro. It's the CIA is, if not the CIA, if the CIA is not the top drug smuggler in the world, the CIA will probably be in the top 2 or top 3 drug smugglers in the world. And so who is invading you? Because the CIA pushes powder, pushes drugs, whether it's heroin or meth or cocaine. No one sells drugs more than the CIA and the NSA in the world. Absolutely no one. So if we just dispense with all of that bullshit for a moment and focus at all of the times in the past when the United States has illegally invaded sovereign nations under false pretenses, as it did in 2001 with Iraq, lying to the world, brazenly lying to the world about the presence of weapons of mass destruction. Number 2, Afghanistan, also lying to the world. Number 3, Libya, concocting all kinds of falsehoods about what Gaddafi was apparently doing, that he's trying to kill his own people, which we later found out that you knew that it wasn't true, but you pushed the lie anyways. And then the then Secretary of State gleefully announced that we came, we saw, and he died. You remember that when Hillary Clinton was gleefully celebrating the death of a leader of a sovereign state after the United States and NATO unlawfully invaded that nation, and then the illegal invasion of Syria by NATO. which resulted in removing a leader of a sovereign state and installing an Al-Qaeda member now who is the current president of Syria, an actual terrorist. Do we need to go through a history lesson of how much the United States have lied to the world repeatedly without any sense of repentance of these lies, moving from one lie to the next, justifying all kinds of, this is not even, we talk about all the other unlawful actions of regime change that are happening in Latin America that the United States have been involved in. Who can forget when the United States declared Juan Guaido as the president of Venezuela in 2019, as if the United States has the authority to declare anyone as the president of a sovereign state. Folks, the United States have tried to remove Maduro for the longest time. So let's just dispense from this bullshit that you are fighting a legitimate fight. If the Venezuelan government is doing anything unlawful, you know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to the UN Security Council and seek for a declaration of war on Venezuela. But obviously you can't do that. And since you can't do that, you want us to believe that your unlawful actions are legitimate, but Russia's unlawful actions are not legitimate. This is the problem that everyone else in the world has with the United States and with the West. And I know a lot of times, many of you, my American friends, when you tell yourselves that people hate you for no reason, people hate you because of freedom-loving Americans. No, people don't hate you because of that. People hate you for this bullshit of interfering in other people's affairs. Leave Venezuela alone. Leave them alone. They're a sovereign nation. Leave them the hell alone. Worry about your own country and leave these people the hell alone. How is that so difficult? But time after time, America will find a reason to interfere in the affairs, in the internal affairs of a foreign nation. Time after time. And somehow we're supposed to condemn Russia's actions in Ukraine, and your actions are fine. Your actions are always fine, but your enemy's actions are never fine. This is the kind of bullshit that make people all over the world, some people who, and I'm not saying that they should be saying things like death to America and all that crap, but I'm saying these are the reasons. So you need to stop imagining that the reason why they hate you is because they hate your way of life. No, people don't give a damn about your way of life. People are trying to live their own lives. Tens of thousands of miles away from you. They're trying to live their lives. They're trying to mind their own business, and you're interfering in their affairs. That is what is happening. That's been what's been happening for the past 30 years. If you leave people the hell alone, they'll leave you the hell alone. This thing is very simple. Yeah. So, and for me, this issue of this action in Venezuela, and it's not for me about the fact whether I like this guy or not, Nicolás Maduro, or that I agree with his policies, or that I agree with his actions. What I'm recognizing is the principle of saying that Venezuela is a sovereign state. Venezuela is a sovereign state. The people of Venezuela must decide their own affairs without America agitating the situation by funding rebels to agitate, funding assassination plots, doing all kinds of things, putting $50 million bounty on this guy, instigating dissent, and then calling it, this is what caused this guy to fall from power, while you are the one who was actively instigating it, paying demonstrators, paying rebels, paying terrorists to cause trouble in nations. This shit needs to stop. It really needs to stop. And people are really sick and tired of this bullshit. I'm telling you, people are really sick and tired of this bullshit. And then you look at the news coverage and in American news coverage stateside covering this. There's a certain arrogance that comes with Americans covering the unlawful actions that American governments conduct overseas, making it as if America is the judge and jury that decides what foreign nations are supposed to do in their own countries. If Maduro is wrong for selling drugs to America, then also the CIA is wrong for selling drugs to to all over the world. Why is it okay for the CIA to sell drugs all over the world, but it's not okay for Maduro to sell drugs? Yeah, honestly, guys, like, this shit needs to stop. It really needs to stop. And the level of Western solipsism and in particular the American solipsism, it is nauseating and it needs to stop, folks. It needs to stop. Mind your own affairs. Mind your own affairs. Leave other people the hell alone. Leave other people to mind their own affairs. Who give you a right to decide what other people are supposed to do? How far away from the US is Venezuela? It's a couple of thousands of miles away. It's maybe 4,000 miles. What right the America has to pull out a coup in Ukraine, removing a duly elected president in Ukraine? What right do you have for that? Folks. I personally am a person who is positively inclined towards the United States of America. I love the United States with all of my heart. But this kind of bullshit really pisses me off. It really pisses me off and it needs to stop. It really needs to stop.